Hi, it's Vex, and today we just want to talk about a general topic with a specific deck. That's right, we want to talk about upgrading an EDH deck. And of course, you gotta have an example EDH deck to upgrade with. So as you can see here, we have an Orzhov deck that we want to update, and the deck is our Athreos deck. We want to update. But before we do updating, I want to talk to you about my process of updating a deck. Basically meaning that when do I update? And how often do I update? I guess it's the same thing as when. I usually update every year plus or two, depending on the deck. Athreos, if you look at this deck, has not been updated for a while, except for the commander himself has been updated to the new secret layer. What is it? The constellation update. So I did update an art because I couldn't resist getting the art, but besides that, I have not updated deck. And the deck is about our friends Shadowborn Apostles. So I have 30 of these Shadowborn Apostles because it says a deck can have any number of cards named Shadowborn Apostles. So it allows you to breaks the singleton nature of commander. So I have 30 of these. So it's a Shadowborn Apostle deck, a very popular deck with Athreos. Backstory: I got this deck idea from the Command Zone. They had a Game Nights episode with Athreos, and I was like, that's really cool. So let's build an Athreos deck. Anyways, but I haven't updated in a long time. As you can see, I don't even have an Arcane Signet. The newest card in here, I believe, is this Athreos Absolution from Ravnica Allegiance. That's basically the newest card I have in the deck. So it's been quite a while. That set has rotated. It's almost been 2 years since I updated this deck. And sometimes it's just I have too many decks. The problem is I can't always continue to upgrade them every set. So what I do is, even though I know cards like Vault of Champions has come out, I was like, oh, I'll wait. Or even Arcane Signet, I waited. It came out over a year ago, and I was like, no, I'm good. So I still play the deck. I have about 25, 26 decks, so it's hard to continually upgrade. So what I do is I do like a cadence. Once every 2 years, I look at a deck. I'm like, okay, it's time for an upgrade. It's time. When I say upgrade, I mean swapping out cards mostly, because I'm actually upgrading some cards and downgrading some. So I'm increasing power level a tiny bit, but I'm not trying to like continually increase power level over and over again. Because I'm not trying to optimize the deck. So yeah, it's been almost 2 years since I upgraded this Athreos deck, and I think it's time to do it. I've selected cards to upgrade. The hard part is 31 cards are locked in, the commander and the Shadowborn Apostles. So this deck is a little hard to upgrade than most decks, but it's still possible. So let's see what these upgrades are. And of course, my favorite upgrades are these Zendikar Rising modal double face cards. One of these upgrades is having the pathway land, the Orzhov pathway, having the mythic modal double face card lands, so you can just play this in, pay 3 life, have it untapped. Those are very good upgrades. And I have another one, Ondu Inversion, one of my favorite cards. Not my most favorite card from Zendikar Rising. So that's why we have a bunch of upgrades there. Another upgrade from Zendikar Rising is Tabrax Hope's Demise, and this deals exactly with clerics. So this is a cleric tribal in a way, because you got Shadowborn Apostles, which are all clerics. So I have 30 clerics, at least 30 clerics. But this is a cool part. This is a demon cleric. So it's both tribes I want, because let me actually read Shadowborn Apostle. I've been hopping around with that one. It says sacrifice 6 creatures named Shadowborn Apostles, so you need at least, that's why you have to have multiples of them. Search your library for a demon creature card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So you sacrifice 6 of these Shadowborn Apostles, you get demon, not this demon, because it's not, only 3 casting cost demon. You want to get like a big fatty demon, like Razakath. So it's really cool here. Now the upgrade, actually, before I started building a lot of decks and making a lot of deck techs for the channel, so this is one of my early decks when I only had like 4 or 5 decks. I never considered this card Bajuka Bog, so it's time to add that in there. So, and then, you know, Vault of Champions came out, Commander Legends. Villas came out last year, and this is an insanely good demon. I still haven't gone around updating. And, you know, it's not about, like, I know people with fewer decks are always continually upgrading. I have no problem with that. I think that's great if you want to continue to update. But remember, power creep is a thing. I know people want to always power creep their deck. But sometimes it's good to depower your deck too. So I'm going to take out some powerful cards, and I'll put in some, you know, versatile cards, powerful cards. Arcane Saint is going in. D-Spark, War of the Spark. So that came after I built the deck, like the set after, but I never went back to actually add D-Spark. And then I forgot to add my Spirit token for my Athreos Absolution that I showed you guys. So I'm adding that in there now. Okay, so let's see what cards I'm going to take out. Eventually, I'll after I do this, and after Kaldheim releases, see if any cards I need to swap in and out, I will do a deck tech, most likely. I haven't seen anything in the spoilers that makes me want to swap out any cards, but if there's any cards there for the deck tech, I'll add in or swap out some cards from Kaldheim. All right, so let's see what we want to remove. Let's go here. So these 30 are staying no matter what. I thought about having 29. I was like, no, can't have 29. Too low. So Shadowborn Apostles are a forever staple in the deck. So they're staying here. And then I have Recruiter of the Guard, right? That's a tutor for Edgewalker. So again, I think I might make a video on this, is reducing tutors in EDH decks, because they make them really consistent. And sometimes the fun of it is having a singleton. I know even though this has 30 of the same card, the fun of it is, you know, drawing different cards, not trying to be too consistent with your deck. So I'm removing Recruiter of the Guard as a tutor for Edgewalker or a Cruel Celebrant, or you know, the small creatures that deal damage when other creatures die. So I'm removing that, and I'm adding a Demon Cleric, Tabrax. So let's swap that out here. Right there. And then next swap is I had usually play a lot of cards during your big turn. If you have Edgewalker, you can always play your Shadowborn Apostles for free. So I had Tendrils of Agony in here. I'm like, it doesn't really happen that way where I can do Tendrils very often. So I'm taking this out because this again, I'm decreasing power. I guess this is a horizontal power leap because I'm decreasing consistency. But I'm adding a good Demon Cleric, so I guess it is decreasing power a little bit. So these go out here. Tendrils of Agony is going out here, and then I'm adding a Demon Villas. So this is a more consistent way to win versus a very explosive way, Tendrils of Agony. Because the problem is if you have Tendrils in your hand early and you can't actually do the big powerful turn with the play, then you know it's like whatever. So I'm adding the a big fatty demon that I can either cast or cheat out with Shadowborn Apostle. Villas is good for card draw and everything, so I kind of like it. So we're exchanging Explosiveness of Tendrils of Agony for like the instant win for Villas. You know, give you another demon, another way to grind value. So that's one of the things there. Okay, so next is I have a list of swaps I have right here. Is Utter End. It's actually right on top. There we go. Utter End. I'm gonna swap this for a better removal spell. Utter End is good because it says exile target non-land permanent. However, D-Spark I believe is better because a lot of the permanents that really matter cost 4 or greater, and it costs 2 less, and it's also instant speed, and it does exiling. So D-Spark has worked great for me. I think it's one of the like an Orzhov staple, along with what is this? Anguish Unmaking. These two are the staple removal spells. Very, very good here. Next one is our Merciless Eviction. I found this to be, you know, underwhelming because sometimes you want to remove 2 types of permanents here. So we're just going to remove this card, add Ondu Inversion here because this is, it doubles as a land because this deck is really biased towards black. So maybe add another white land's good. And it's, you know, it's a good reset button. Just in case you need to just reset the board. You have Faith Reward if you're actually lucky enough to have the gazillion mana to do this. You know, the 8 + 4, you can get all your stuff back. But if you're not lucky, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta reset the board. You can make sacrifices. So I think that's a more powerful card. So we're creeping up in power there. Next swap is Thrumming Stone. So this is cool because it gives your spells ripple. Very useless in Commander unless you have, Shadowborn Apostles, Relentless Rat, Persistent Petitioners. And then I've done it where I've literally cast every Shadowborn Apostle from my deck. I did the thing a couple times. It's great. It's fun. I think it's just a little too much power because once you do this and cast one Shadowborn Apostle, you can essentially go through your deck unless you whiff. But you get a bunch of Shadowborn Apostles, get your Demon, Razakaf, Tutor, do the thing. So again, I'm removing this, depowering the deck a little bit. I don't need to do the thing all the time. And let's see, Arcane Signet. So we're just add a little more consistency with Arcane Signet, a little mana consistency here. I believe Arcane Signet is great in any 2+ color decks. You can even play in mono color decks except for green decks. And they're still good. It's like 2 mana rock. Let's say a mono red deck is still good. So that's going in. Next thing is some more depowering going on here. Cabal Coffers. And I'm depowering for multiple reasons. One, I don't have Expedition Map. I refuse to have a card that tutors for this or Orborg so I can get lots of mana. Plus, I don't need that kind of power. And also, I built a mono black deck. And I only own 1 Cabal Coffers because I haven't reprinted it in ages, and that's a good reason, right? You want to run this in a different deck. It's okay to take it out of one deck and put it in another deck. So I will take out Cabal Coffers here, and just go to this side, and I'll add Vault of Champions, nice dual land. And because I don't care about my swamp count anymore, I can add these little modal double face cards right here because Cabal Coffers cares about swamps. So it gives me more flexibility in my mana base by not having to have all swamps all the time. Another swap I'm gonna do, it's just I think I'm gonna take out Plains, right? Take out Plains and put this Amaria's Call. And I mean, if you're playing casual, you can just flip it upside down. It's like, look, it's gonna be a land most of the time. Amaria the Sky, Shatter Skyclave. So it's kind of like a land that has the ability to make angels if necessary. I do have to get those angel tokens, so we'll be right back, actually. All right, we're back. I totally forgot. See, that's why you always have your tokens, right? 2 angel tokens right here. Supplement our spirit token we forgot already. This is what happens when you early days of EDH. You forget things, but it's always good to have your tokens. Right there, that's a good straight sub. Oop, wrong side. Plains for Maria. Right there. I'm gonna just auto flip it to the white side, the land side, because most of the time playing as land. Next card is another Plains, since we're playing lots of black cards. And then we did add on to Inversion, another Plains. See what Plains we want to take out. This War of the Spark Plains right here. Boom. Let's take this Plains out. Let's add this Bright Climb Pathway right here. So again, it's essentially another Plains. Bruce is white, but if you need a black mana, Grim Climb is your friend. Oops, dropping everything right there. So that's good. Now we took out Cabal Coffers. Let's take out Swamp for Bajuka Bog. I recommend any black deck, mono black, any deck that plays black, except for maybe a 5-color deck where you're crimped on the mana colors. Play Bajuka Bog. Good graveyard hate. It doesn't hate your own graveyard. Remember, Athreos, you don't want to play like a Rest in Peace with Athreos because Athreos is a semi-graveyard deck. It does some graveyardy things because you need a creature to die. Okay, and the last sub is another Swamp. So let's see here. What art do we want to take out? Let's take out a different art here. No, I got all War of the Spark art. It's pretty neat. So I guess I did do it during War of the Spark. So what the way I make my decks is I use the land of the set that's currently in release, that was just released for my deck, so I know when I built my deck. So I built my deck around War of the Spark. So I guess I have Cruel Celebrant too to tell me I have from War of the Spark. So I guess I didn't respect D-Spark as much, but I guess I do now. All right. So that's cool. Yeah. So I always try to strive for the basic lands that are part of the set that just came out. It's really helpful to remember when you build these decks because there's so many decks hard to keep track of. All right. So Agadeem's Awakening goes in for a swamp, and again, most likely 95% or 80% I won't use the front side, so I'm just gonna turn it to the back side. Agadeem Undercrypt. Again, it gives me the option of using Agadeem's Awakening, but most of the time, since I'm playing casual, I think my playgroup won't mind that I just put it on the land side just to remind me it's a land right away. All right, so yeah, that's what I do is swap decks. I swap out some lands because then the card Rising is so powerful with all its mono double face cards here. Cabal Coffers is going to another deck, Sir Conrad deck. Thrumming Stone, I did the thing. You know, it's very powerful. I'm not gonna lie. 6 mana, you play 5 mana, play 1 mana for a Shadowmoor Apostle. You most likely have a bunch of them coming out of your deck. Merciless Eviction, I think it was good for its time. The Exile all Planeswalkers, I haven't played against Super Friends that much. Exile all artifacts or enchantments, just like sometimes I want to do both artifacts and enchantments, or artifacts, enchantments, and creatures. This just doesn't give me that power to just do multiple things. It's a very good card, but I think it's just time to move on from something else. Switching this for just a more powerful, more efficient card, D-Spark. Tendrils. You know, the big turn is cool. It's just like it's a dead card when you draw it. I don't like dead cards. Because I can't do the thing. I'd rather just have a big fatty in my hand and eventually I'll be able to cast it. I mean, I could cast it and just drain 2 and gain 2. That's kind of useless. Recruiter the Guard, reducing my tutor count. And the deck still has some tutors, right? It's got Demonic Tutor and Diabolic Intent right here. I think 2 tutors is good. If I need to do some swaps, I might just replace Diabolic Intent, replace some tutors. But, yep. So those are reasons I updated this deck. I think it's fun to do some updates. I don't do it that often because it's just too much pressure to update every set, especially if you have a lot of decks, and especially if you just want to keep a deck at the same power level. You don't need to update that often. I have a video that's coming out about I think probably before when I retire decks. So it's retiring, updating, or just keeping them the same. And I guess I might as well complete that and just say why I keep decks the same and just don't upgrade them, period. And there's some decks I do have that. I think my Niv deck, I just don't need to update. Even though there's much better cards that come out, I think it's still a fun deck. But I'll probably keep it the way it is for years to come until something like really provoking comes out. Anyways, if you like learning about my update process and see me update my Athreos deck, give this video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you want to get alerted. I also have TCGplayer affiliate link down in the description below if you want to support the channel that way. And as always, have a wonderful day.